We should go.
Two unsuspecting people with two completely different backgrounds meet and fall in love. That's the opening to Troy and Gabriella's love story. When these two were chosen to sing together at the New Year's party, it just feels like fate at work. But even though fate might have brought them together, there were many difficulties in their relationship. Troy and Gabriella have had their wonderful moments, but breakups, arguments, and dishonesty make it difficult to identify whether they stuck it out through college. Hello, I'm Isaac from What's So Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people. Today, I'm with my friends Kayla and Sydney, some big High School Musical fans, to discuss whether or not Troy and Gabriella ended up together. If you'd like to learn more about High School Musical or any of the two girls in this video, I've provided all the links to the movies, the resources I used, and their social medias in the description. And to continue discussing Disney with me, make sure to subscribe.
At the end of High School Musical 3, Troy and Gabriella have figured out a way that they think they can make their relationship work after senior year. If they were going to end up together, they would just follow this plan to go to school near one another and continue to pursue their dreams while being in a relationship. Sorry to break it to you, Troy, but just because you're only 32.71 miles away from Gabriella, if you don't have a car, you are going to be taking a long bus ride.
So was their post-East High solution truly permanent? Did they actually stay together? Whenever they were together singing, it always felt like nothing could come between them. And they felt that too. Like at the end of High School Musical 2.
Every day of our lives, wanna find you there, wanna hold on tight.
They were a young couple, but their optimism and love for one another is the reason it is so easy to root for them and long for a relationship like they have. The truth is though, like any relationship, they've had difficulties and gotten through them in the past. But that still means they had difficulties.
In every movie, they question if they should be together. Maybe this means deep down they know they will be apart someday. Now the first film's breakup makes sense since their friends manipulated Troy to say he didn't care about Gabriella or the musical. So this is something that doesn't really reflect poorly on their relationship, especially since they weren't dating yet. I can understand why Gabriella would break things off after seeing that video, but this is only the first example of their roller coaster relationship. I can understand why— oh, I have something in my throat. I can understand why Gabriella would break things off after seeing that video, but this is only the first example of their roller coaster relationship.
After the winter musicale, Troy and Gabriella do start to date, and this continues into summer. Everything is great with them and their jobs until Troy becomes busier and starts losing time with his friends because Sharpay is pulling some strings to get him a higher paying job and some meals with college basketball recruiters. Regardless of the opportunities coming Troy's way, Gabriella felt he had abandoned her and her friends. While Sharpay was helping Troy and Gabriella were making desperate attempts to connect, which did more harm than good.
You've got him written up by Fulton for sneaking on the golf course, swimming after hours. I had to step in just to save Troy's job.
Troy and Gabriella were doing their best to make the most of their summers, but were doing it in completely different ways, leading them to breaking up for a period of time. They do find their way together again, but they really are only willing to look to the future in the short term during their senior year.
Tomorrow can wait. Some other day to be, but right now there's you and me.
Troy and Gabriella are unsure of their futures and their future together, so they attempt to just make the most of the moments they have day by day without really discussing what would happen after East High. On top of this, Gabriella keeps huge developments in her future from him. She hides she was going to leave high school to go to early orientation at Stanford. When he finally finds out, she just leaves and then pulls out of the relationship further.
So would I come back, go to prom, and leave again? I don't think I can do it, Troy.
Troy does make one last big move on Gabriella, and that leads to them proposing their plans to be together in college. But it doesn't feel very strong. From our perspective, their relationship has been filled with chaos, little communication, secrets, and short-sighted breakups. At the same time though, no matter what they have been through, they always come back together.
These two were wonderful together, truly seemed in love and benefited each other's lives, so maybe they could make it. Troy especially grew so much from knowing Gabriella.
In the first High School Musical meeting, Gabriella creates a whole new path for Troy, and this is perfectly embodied in the first song they sing together. So start.
This could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Oh.
The first way Gabriella changes Troy is by allowing him to realize he can be someone he wants to be.
Sometimes I don't want to be the basketball guy.
And that revelation would have never occurred if he hadn't sung with Gabriella and learned he had a passion for the arts.
Then, in the second film, Troy identifies what is important to him.
I'm more interested about what my friends think of me and what I think of myself.
Troy was being a responsible teenager by pursuing avenues for his future, but he began to realize his future didn't matter as much as the relationships he had fostered in high school. He wanted a great future, but he wanted to love himself too. That was achieved because of Gabriella's insistence he should change his ways.
And finally, in High School Musical 3, Troy understands when he moves forward with his life, he must identify who he wants to be and what's important to him as he pursues his dreams.
After Gabriella leaves for Stanford, this is the moment Troy has to decide what he wants to do with his life. And in the end, he wants everything he loves.
Troy and Gabriella had their frequent rough patches in high school. They fought, had misunderstandings, didn't tell one another the truth, but through it all, they also empowered one another to be better. Troy especially learned how to be an individual and chooses his destiny based on what mattered to him because of the influence by Gabriella. To me, it seems the good outweighed the bad, and there were rumors this will be the case.
In 2016, there were unconfirmed rumors Troy and Gabriella were planned to be married in the upcoming High School Musical 4 film, which Disney hasn't talked about in a few months. No worries though. High School Musical, the TV show, is confirmed to be coming Disney's new streaming platform, so maybe we will find out the official answer to this question then.
Their history may be rough, and the trip between colleges was probably a bit longer than either of them expected. But I think Troy and Gabriella knew they had a once-in-a-lifetime relationship, which is why I think they are still together.
I just wanna be with you.
If you enjoyed theorizing on High School Musical, then click that button! And if you are interested in staying up to date with more magical Disney Channel original movie videos, then click that subscribe button. Boom.
So now it's time for the question of the day, sponsored by your patrons. Do you think Troy and Gabriella ended up together? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section, along with any other ideas you have for future Discovering Disney episodes.
And as always, thanks for watching and have a magical day. All right.
High School Musical, it's time we have to let it go. It's the best part we've ever known. Step